You can listen to this practice wherever you find yourself today. You can be sitting down or laying down or even stretching and doing things if that's what you have to do. And hopefully, wherever you're at when you listen, this will still be helpful to you in some way. So if you'd like to listen in a still position, you can feel free to take all the time you need to arrive there and just allow yourself to fidget, adjust, stretch, move in whatever ways your body wants to move. And just doing your best to not think about the movement, but seeing if you can let your body move for you and following that path of least resistance, or following those yummy sensations you might get with some neck rolls or cat-cow motions with the spine. Or if what feels best to you right now is stillness, then honoring that need for stillness whenever that feels like the right thing. And so there is no rush whatsoever. You can continue to move throughout this practice whenever you feel the need to. If at any point you're feeling ready to come to a still position and you haven't already, you may do so. Just feeling that the spine is nice and straight wherever you're at. And if you're in a place where you feel safe and would like to let the eyes gently close, then you may allow them to close at any time. And you can mark your arrival into your practice today, into your body today, with a full and intentional cleansing breath. A long and slow inhale in through the nose, and just letting yourself fill up to every corner and edge of you as you just pause for a moment to really feel that sense of fullness. And without straining, as you need to, slowly letting all of that go. Exhaling bit by bit. And just gently pulling the navel toward the spine at the bottom of your exhale to push that last bit of stagnant air out of you. As you again pause to experience that sense of emptiness. And allow your next breath to come to you as it's needed. So you can continue to breathe just like this for as many rounds as it feels good. Not worrying too much about the length of your inhales, exhales, and pauses, but just letting them be exaggerated, whatever that means for you right now. Just taking a little bit longer inhale than usual, pausing for another moment, exhaling a bit more fully, and again, pausing for an extra moment at the bottom of the exhale. And just consciously slowing down the process of your breath. And at any time, if you haven't already, you can just release this guidance over your breath altogether. And let yourself come into that role of the observer or the role of the witness. Maybe even feeling like you're stepping back and up in the mind, in your awareness, into that point of view where you can watch your body breathing you, rather than having any direct influence over the rhythm or depth of your breath. And knowing that if that feels like a difficult task to do today, that is completely fine and normal. And some days it just feels hard for whatever reason. But just reminding yourself, regardless of how it feels right now, that your breath is that one bodily function that can be either voluntary or automatic. Remembering how your body does breathe entirely on its own, even when you are deep in sleep. and how your breath, your body does function exactly as it should without any of your direction, any of your control. And it is safe for you to take a step back and simply observe the process. And as you observe, you can let some awareness come to your physical muscles as well, and the physical tension and stress that might be resting in the body. Maybe as you notice your body sitting or laying in whatever space you're in, you can notice some residing tension or sense of holding in some muscles in the face, maybe in some muscles along the neck or in the shoulders, maybe in the stomach or in the pelvic floor, maybe in the hands and feet. And just as you let your awareness come to those areas of some holding, resisting, or just remaining tension, you can allow your body to exhale into that space and release a little bit further. So seeing if you can allow your jaw to just hang into place and just let all the muscles in your mouth that create all the shapes that your mouth makes throughout your days, all of those muscles to rest right now. Just giving them a break. The corners of your mouth and your lips and even your tongue. Just allowing your whole mouth to be soft. And just feeling a sense of trust with your own anatomy, that everything will be held exactly where it needs to be without any of your doing. It is safe for you to let go. And you can feel how this softness across your mouth can naturally allow the chin to soften a little bit more, along with the nostrils, as the sense of release naturally spreads outward and upward, softening the cheeks a little bit further, the ears even, and the upper jaw, the eyelids, and even the eyeballs, just letting the eyeballs rest in their sockets. Letting your gaze soften over and just allowing your eyes to look wherever they are looking, whether the eyes are open or closed, whether you're staring into the backs of the eyelids, or if the eyes are rolling back and maybe staring up into the forehead, or rolling back even further and staring into the skull itself. But just letting your vision glaze over almost. Softening the gaze as you just naturally feel the eyebrows and the whole forehead soften along with it. And you're feeling the hairline soften back and just allowing your forehead to be as wide and as deep as it is. And now all this softness and sense of release that you feel in your face, just naturally allowing that to cascade down the rest of your body, down the skull, across the hairline and scalp, down the neck and shoulders, letting the arms be heavy as you feel the rib cage soften on the lungs. You feel the muscles of your abdomen just soften against the organs. And feel your pelvic floor and glutes fully release into the surface that is supporting you. Letting both legs and feet be soft as well. As you just feel this overall sense of trust with where you are in the world right now and where you are in your body right now. A sense of trust with your own anatomy. Trusting that when you let go, you will not float away, you will not break, but everything will be held exactly where it needs to be. And it is safe for you to release some of that responsibility you might put on yourself to hold everything together all the time, or to look a certain way, or to feel a certain way. But seeing if you can take on a more curious perspective right now and just become curious of how you do feel right now. Not trying to find any specific feelings or sensations, but just being curious of what feelings and sensations are here right now. Even the ones that you might label as bad or painful or negative. Those are also a part of our reality. And to have a full awareness practice or meditation practice, we need to acknowledge reality, the reality within us and around us. And acknowledging reality will never mean ignoring an entire facet of what's happening or washing over the pain and suffering that we feel with love and light. But acknowledging reality just means noticing what is here. It does not mean that you like it or agree with it or want it to be this way. And it simply means that you acknowledge where you are right now, where the world around you is right now. And that is always going to be the first step in any real change. Personal change or change in the world. We cannot change what we don't first acknowledge. And so bringing some attention now just to the space around your heart. And noticing what your resting posture is like right now with your heart. And where your heart is located in the shape of your skeleton, in the shape of your shoulders. And if you're anything like me, my resting posture is more of a protective one around my heart. The shoulders tend to come forward and the heart tends to curl back into that cave-like structure of the shoulders. And so if that is happening, if that is you right now as well, you can just let some attention come to the very tips of your shoulders. And you can imagine that they are reaching in opposite directions as you feel your collarbones broaden just a bit. And the heart comes forward slightly out of that cave and rests between the upper arms in this more proud position. And as you do that, you might feel like your chin wants to come up, or you might feel your lower rib cage start to open up. And just knitting the lower ribs back under to keep that length in your lower back. And tucking the chin slightly down to keep that length in the back of your neck. And really just feeling that straight spine from your tailbone through your lower and middle back. Through the back of your heart, the space between the shoulder blades, and all the way up through the back of your neck and into the skull. And just feel that direct line that you are creating up and down the center line of your body. Just assuring that the energy can flow freely from your head, through your throat, down through the heart, down through the stomach, through the lower stomach, and into the pelvic floor. And with each breath that your body takes, you are getting a little bit bigger, a little bit taller, a little bit wider. And with each exhale that your body takes, letting yourself get a little bit heavier, a little bit more secure with where you are. And just allowing yourself to be exactly as you are right now. And if there's any thoughts coming up or phrases popping into mind that are things that you want to change about yourself, or findings that you find within your body that you would like to be different, just letting those seeds be planted. Not trying to ignore the things that you would like to change, or trying to convince yourself that you are okay with the way things are if there is something that you'd like to change. Just allowing your feelings to be exactly as they are. And if there are things that you would like to change about yourself or about your life structure or your environment, just allowing those things to come up and allowing those seeds to be planted within you. And reminding yourself that there is always going to be a period of time between when we recognize something needs to change and when we actually make those changes, when we have the resources to make those changes. And so just being so kind and patient with yourself on your journey of change. Knowing that we all are on a journey of change at varying parts in the journey at all times. And so you can just continue to feel whatever is coming up for you. And if there are ever emotions that want to come up, feel free to allow them to arise and release out of you. Not pushing tears or maybe even laughter back down, but allowing emotional releases to come in these moments. Because our body is far more intelligent than we give it credit for. And our body often knows exactly what we need. And if our body feels like it needs to cry, then we can allow it to cry and just trust that the only way out is through, and every storm runs out of rain. And you will not break beneath the emotions that you feel, but you are strong and capable of feeling hard things. And if you're feeling really great right now, allow yourself to fully soak in all of that goodness, all of those yummy, tingling, bright feelings that you might have. Just allowing yourself to indulge in those good sensations, knowing that they are temporary as well. And you deserve to feel all the good things when they're here. And so you can allow yourself to continue to feel whatever comes up for you. Continue to soften any areas of tension that pop up as you just listen to the following words written by Octavia Rahim in her book, Pause, Rest, and Be. And just allow anything that feels like it resonates with you to soak in a little bit deeper and not worrying about the rest. So sometimes the teacher is a single person. Sometimes the teacher is our mama or papa. Sometimes the teacher is our partner or even our child. Sometimes the teacher is a whole community holding space for us, even as they let us go to become who we were born to be. The map for our most sacred expedition is often only revealed when we are brave enough to step into the unknown. Be guided by the light in our heart, the rhythm of our own feet, and the compass of our breath. At the darkest turn, we may think we are alone, but remember someone's tending the fire and trusting you'll make it through. Broken, undone, shifted, transformed, yet through. It is dark in some patches of the journey, but keep going. You are healing, and you will return. Reflect and remember a time when you physically walked alone, yet knew you were being guided and supported by forces seen and unseen. What did that feel like in your body and heart? Pause, remember, and say thank you. Even if the world as you knew it was not the world you wanted it to be, you are allowed to mourn the death of it. You may have yearned for this divorce from that reality and still weep as you stand at the grave of your marriage. Perhaps the life you were living wasn't the life you are worthy of and desired. You are allowed to grieve it as it disappears and becomes invisible. This is a threshold. If you don't walk through the valley, you do not cultivate the capacity to make it to the peak. As you learn to be with your grief, you expand your capacity to be in your joy. If you cannot face your grief, you limit your access to joy. Grief and joy are sacred twins. You do not have to face it all at once. Your heart is a portal, a doorway into the truth, hidden underneath every feeling and emotion. Perhaps today you sit outside the door and lean your back against it. And then the next day you crack the door open, and so on. You do not have to fling it open. Do not bolt it closed. Do not lock yourself out of your own heart. Your heart may be broken. Walk through the opening. Rest in the inner sanctuary of your being. Place your most intimate, soft, and longing prayers on the altar within your heart. This is one way to remember you are whole. And you may think you are not doing very much at all. All of this shifting from the inside out. All of this adjusting and readjusting to what is. All of this releasing and letting go requires energy. Transformation requires rest. So you can just take the next few moments to really allow everything that you've heard today to settle. If you imagine all the words that you've heard so far as little snowflakes swirling around in a snow globe. And right now is the chance for you set the snow globe down and allow it all to settle. and to clear the air. And just trust that anything you heard that resonated with you or really struck a chord with you, just trusting that that feeling can come when we hear on the outside what a part of us already knows to be true on the inside. And so just allowing those truths to be enhanced within you, so you feel a little bit more confidence to act on what you already know to be true, to act on your own intuition. Trusting that you already know exactly what you need to do here. And there is not one person out there who can teach you more about yourself than what quiet time alone can teach you about yourself. And you could never have to give that power away to anyone else. And so if it feels like something you'd like to do today, you can just let your hands find each other in a prayer position toward heart center. And just feeling that pulse of your palms and fingers into one another. And let your heart lift toward your thumbs and let your thumbs press back toward your heart as you just really tune into all of this power that is generated through you, through your heart. You can take a final deep and full breath into the body and just letting yourself fill up to every corner and edge of you. And as you exhale, letting go of anything you're ready to let go of as you let your head gently bow. And just taking this moment to bow to the source of energy that allows all of our hearts to beat, whatever you believe that to be. And bowing to everyone else in this space who has listened and completed this practice right alongside you. And finally, bowing to yourself for choosing to show up today and taking the time out of your busy life for this pure act of self-love and self-care. And may this act continue to heal you through the rest of your days and nights. And may you bring the same love and understanding to everything you do and to everyone that you see. Thank you.